we have today.
SGA hopes to represent the students better.
We're going to be working with students more than for them this year. We want to be partners with the students.
There will be new students, experienced senators. They will be the focus on the multicultural community on campus. This is happening in a few months. By Monday, half of the judicial branch and the Chief Justice will officially be selected. That's all I have for you guys tonight, but there is sure to be more SGA news to come. I'm Nhung An. Back to you guys at the desk.
A Quinnipiac student passed away last Wednesday night in an off-campus bicycle accident. The student has been identified as 23-year-old Anthony Massardo of Connecticut, a sophomore majoring marketing philosophy. In a letter emailed to the entire university, President Judy Olian stated, quote, "This is a terrible loss for Anthony's family and friends, and for our community, my heart goes to all in this time of extraordinary sorrow," end quote. 17 years after 9/11, members of the Quinnipiac Student Veterans Association and Quinnipiac Air Force ROTC cadets raised the American flag. The bells chimed from the Arnold Bernard Library at 8:50 a.m. Members of the university were invited to take part in a moment of silence to honor those who died.
Emergency lights are on campus for students who need assistance. Whether a car battery needs to be jumped or you're in danger, one push of the call button and it instantly connects you with public safety. Recently, emergency blue lights on York Hill have been covered with caution tape, suggesting that they are broken. However, Public Safety Officer Bradley Bopp stated that this is common practice for the department, as the caution tape is used to notify IT about the problem. Bopp urges students that if they see a broken blue light, use the app Rave Guardian to report the problem. Once the problem is reported, public safety will work as soon as possible to fix it. This past week, the Student Government Association Senior Class Cabinet sent out a survey to the senior class. This survey comes after an email sent out by Quinnipiac University Events. In this email, the dates for commencement and news that ceremonies would be combining, leaving students with less tickets, were announced. In the survey sent out by SGA, 60% of respondents see 6 tickets as a suitable amount, and 35% of respondents would both ideally like to invite 6 and 8 people to graduation ceremonies. Q30 News caught up with senior class president Matt Corso to find out what has been done with these survey results.
Once we got the survey data, we presented it to Lynn Bushnell, and she brought it up in the president's cabinet meeting actually just yesterday. And so they looked at it, discussed it, and they got back to us and said that they're going to keep moving forward with the way they have it right now.
Right here with Q30 News recently broke that in April, Quinnipiac purchased a property for $6.5 million. The 32-acre land is found behind the Hilltop parking lot on the Mount Carmel campus. There are 4 buildings on this property. One will be used as the president's home, and another will be used for hosting events. William Weldon, chairman of the Quinnipiac Board of Trustees, said in a statement issued to Q30 News that the board has tried to obtain this land for 20 years. Last week, many students received spam emails through their Quinnipiac accounts. This is not the first time the members of the university community have received their emails and are afraid this will continue. Sarah Russell has more.
Quinnipiac University students and staff are no strangers to phishing and spam emails they may receive throughout the year. But this year, the spam started early. By the first week of classes, students and staff were receiving emails that contained a link that, when clicked, would hack their accounts.
There was a green box that said click here, right? And it's really hard. We used to tell students, faculty and staff, to not click on weird links in emails, but it's so hard to tell good from bad that sort of what we've got to do organizationally is make email trustworthy and safe.
Students and staff were tricked by emails with subject lines like Public Relations Panel and Student Employment Application.
I actually received an email that was titled Student Employment Application, and I was actually actively looking for jobs on campus, so I was like, oh, okay, awesome. And I had opened it, and I was on my phone, and it looked strange. It didn't look like a virus, but it wasn't displaying like the green box like everyone was saying, so I clicked it, and then I realized I was hacked, and I actually had difficulty changing my password, and that ended up locking me out of my account for the Labor Day weekend.
Once the student or staff clicked the link in their email, their account became compromised and started sending spam emails from their accounts to others.
These emails are using existing compromised accounts. So what they're doing is they're getting into a university account, student, faculty, or staff, and then they're sending or resending emails from the sent items. So the subject line's familiar and it's from a sender that you've communicated with. So that's why it was really much more successful.
After being hacked, these accounts locked the users out for the remainder of the weekend.
I was actually really upset because not only was I locked out of my email, but it also made me locked out of my MyQ and Blackboard.
As of now, the university is trying to find new ways to stop the spamming, but it is expected to pick back up at Thanksgiving break, when campus offices are closed again. Sarah Russell, Q30 News.
The health center's change in hours has been cause for controversy across campus. The new change includes adding a dietitian to the staff and other medical providers on weekends. Rather than 24-hour service, the health center on Mount Carmel campus will be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. On the weekends, the health center will be open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Rocky Top Health Center is only open Monday through Friday from noon to 8 p.m. And only a couple months into the new position, and President Judy Olean wants to hear from you, the students. Olean will open up her office for office hours, which began on August 24th and will end for the semester on December 14th. The meetings will be a first-come, first-served basis and will be run by the students. Come well prepared, however, because you will only get about 10 minutes with her.
Possible deportation did not stop Salma Mahmood from sending her son off to college. Samir told me the latest news on his family and what the public can do to help. I'm sitting down with Samir Mahmood, who is a freshman engineering student at Quinnipiac University. Months ago, news broke that Samir's mother, Salma, would be deported to her home country of Bangladesh. Samir has tirelessly worked with media so that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, otherwise known as ICE, would not deport his mother. Fortunately, Salma was able to stay in Connecticut to send her son off to college. Samir, thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me, everyone.
Of course. So the last that the public has heard is that your mother was given the chance to stay in Connecticut to send you off to college. What is the future looking like now for her?
So the future officially is looking like ICE has granted her a one-year stay, and they told her it could be renewed. So right now, me, my parents, and a bunch of lawyers and a bunch of organizations throughout Connecticut are going to try and win this case so my mom and dad can finally be full-on citizens in the country that they've been in for 25 years.
Well, that must have been an incredible feeling, knowing that your mom was able to send you off on your first day of college.
It's a good feeling because my parents stayed with me the whole day, which is weird, but they stayed with me the whole day, and they wanted to sit outside Tater Hall. They wanted to sit outside the engineering building. They want to make sure that I went to college because that's something they've never been to. They want to see their first-generation college student go to school, and so they were crying on the way home, and they were crying on the way here, and my parents were holding me tightly.
What more can the public do to, continue and help your mom?
What the public can do right now is to just pray and just stay together and just fight for the others that are hiding in the shadows.
It was great to be able to sit down with Samir. He talked so highly of government officials and politicians who helped with his mother's case.
Yeah, what a great story, Olivia, but unfortunately now we have to go to something not so great happening this week, the weather. Carrie, how's it looking out there?
Well, guys, it's definitely a break in the weather. Thank goodness. It's been nothing but rain. But let's take a quick look at what tonight's temperatures are. It's actually nice and cool. It's a high of 66. It's actually really nice. So if you need to walk home or you need to walk somewhere, perfect night to do it. Looking ahead at tomorrow, it's going to be 73, and it looks like the sun is going to come out. So definitely a break before Hurricane Florence makes its way up the coast. And tomorrow night, it's going to be 70. But make sure you stay with us here on the Q30 Newscast for our full weather forecast. But first, we'll be right back after the break.
Welcome to the WQAQ Morning Show. Dan Ball and Emma Spagnolo joining you here from the QAQ studios in Hamden. And Emma, it is that time of year again.
If you like debate,
That's a converted relief pitcher making the start because it was a doubleheader. You got no hit by a relief pitcher. You can't tell me that's not embarrassing.
analysis,
You can see his stance, his positioning right there is excellent.
and a side of entertainment.
Is he right or is he crazy?
Well, we all know the answer to that. He's a bit crazy, but I gotta say, you know.
Then join us on Bobcat Breakdown.
From the court to the ice to here on the diamond, we'll discuss everything you need to know about Quinnipiac athletics.
Bobcat Breakdown, Tuesdays at 9:30.
Hey there! These my children!
Let's get it going. Sports Ball starts right now. I don't know what that celebration is, MJ, but I'm loving it.
Is that Fortnite? Back tonight with some basketball coverage.
And here again, Aaron Robinson hits the shot of his life.
Quinnipiac After Dark is no longer its own organization. This past year, the Student Programming Board and Quad has been working to integrate organizations. What does this mean for some of the heavily attended Quad events? Callie Keys has the story.
As an upperclassman at the Involvement Fair, you might have noticed that one organization was missing. Quinnipiac After Dark is no longer its own organization. Instead, this year, SPB will be integrating QU After Dark and late night programming into their organization. This change came after a conversation Hannah Pankak, the Assistant Director of Campus Life for Student Centers and Student Involvement, initiated.
We kind of came to the conclusion of merging as SPB because that was known as the huge student programming board on campus.
Members have said the transition so far has been easy, as they had already been sharing the same suite.
Our two organizations actually shared an office last year, so we were with each other, we were friends with each other, so with many of the same people carrying over, it was really easy to just transition.
One of the main differences within the SPB structure is the addition of the VP of Late Night. This is the position that Emily Roskoff now holds, and she wants those that frequently attend Quad's Moonlight Breakfast and other events not to worry.
All of our traditional events that students loved are still going to be happening, and we'll just be doing a lot more events in the late night hours this year.
Students still looking to involve themselves in late night programming should check out the SPB suite located right behind me. For Q30 News, Callie Keys.
Many organizations around campus have partnered up with the Multicultural Student Leadership Council to put together Multicultural Welcome Week. Beginning on Monday, students still have a chance to get involved in this week's activities. There will be 3 events tomorrow, September 13th. Beginning at 8 a.m., there will be a She Leads event, followed by an event called Paint Your Canvas from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Student Center, which all leads up to a movie night. This week of events will conclude with a culture fair. Taking place in BurtCon Court at 4 p.m. on Friday, there will be food trucks, inflatables, prizes, and more for those who join the festivities.
The Health Center is not the only area making changes on campus. The Student Center is now home to a new student employment. Take a look. The new space is located on the 2nd floor of the Student Center near the WQAQ radio station.
Now, with all you need to know about Hamden news, Chris Dacey joins us to bring you this week's local report.
Chris, what do you have for us?
Drew, Olivia, thank you. We start in the Miller Memorial Library in Hamden as a 15-year-old teenager was arrested after he assaulted a woman in the bathroom. Hamden police responded as the teen was being restrained by a bystander after he heard screams in the bathroom. The teenager is due in court September 19th. And down the road, the Legislative Council chamber in Memorial Town Hall has black mold has been found, forcing a temporary closure. Evidence of the black mold growth was found, and Hamden said the town was working with the Quinnipiac Valley Health District to remove the mold. But until then, all meetings have been rescheduled to a later date. And finally, there's a new restaurant on Whitney Ave with the goal to please the palates of local residents. Roost is a chicken-inspired restaurant, and reporter Kyle Lavasser made the trip to see what the new eatery is all about.
Sometimes being called chicken isn't a bad thing. Roost, Hamden's brand new chicken restaurant located on Whitney Ave, opened 3 weeks ago.
Oh, it's been pretty busy. Like the first few days, actually, the line was like almost out the door.
So what's been bringing so many people to Roost?
Roost is a fun family environment with ping pong tables and cornhole.
While Roost is owned by Eli's, the menu features chicken sandwiches like chicken on waffles, the super chicken, and the Carolina buffalo. Roost offers plenty of options for college students.
I talked to a lot of families today that their students go to Quinnipiac and they loved every minute of it. They love that we have a few draft beers and a couple wines by the glass and bottled sodas. It's like old school, kind of, bring it back.
With all the talk of food, let's see how it is. I'll take a Carolina buffalo, but how spicy is it?
It's got a good kick to it.
All right, I'll have to test it out. Covered in buffalo sauce and blue cheese, the Carolina buffalo is one of Roost's best sellers. Another bestseller are the street fries.
We actually have the street fries, which they're awesome. Hand-cut fries, and they come with tomatillo guacamole, chipotle aioli. They come with cotija cheese, which that's goat cheese, cilantro. Those, toppings, if you like toppings on your fries. So they're really good.
Roost hopes to open other locations throughout Connecticut soon. Reporting in Hamden, I'm Kyle Lavasser, Q30 News.
That's all for Hamden News Now. Make sure you stay up to date with Q30 News. For more, Drew, Olivia, back to you.
When we come back, Carrie Golden has this week's weather forecast.
And Kaylee Heffler keeps us up to date with the latest entertainment news. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Welcome to the WQAQ Morning Show. Dan Ball and Emma Spagnolo joining you here from the QAQ studios in Hamden. And Emma, it is that time of year again.
Let's get it going. Sports Pulse starts right now. I don't know what that celebration is, MJ, but I'm loving it.
Is that Fortnite? Back tonight with some basketball coverage.
And here again, Aaron Robinson hits the shot of his life.
Carrie, the rain does not look like it's stopping anytime soon.
How's it looking out there now?
Well, guys, it still hasn't been raining for a while, so that is definitely a good sign. I would say things are looking up. So we already looked at tonight's weather and tomorrow's weather. Let's look at the areas surrounding us in the rest of the state of Connecticut. Let's start with good old New Haven. Looks like it's 69 today. Also in Danbury and Hartford. In Norwich, it is 68. And in New London, it is also 68. But if that is still too hot for you, you can head over to Torrington. It is 66 inland today. So it looks like that hurricane weather is really cooling off the state of Connecticut. Let's see how it looks for the rest of the Quinnipiac weather for the rest of the week. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. So tonight, again, 75, low of 68. Could have some possible thunderstorms. Tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit sunnier, high of 77, low of 65. Same thing on Friday with also a high of 77 and a low of 61. The weekend is looking beautiful. Great weekend for Fall Fest. Make sure you get outside as we haven't been lately with the rain. High of 78 and a low of 60. High of 79 on Sunday and a low of 60. And then Monday and Tuesday to round off the week. Looks like it's going to be 79 on Monday with a low of 64. And Tuesday, high of 81 with a low of 65. Looks like things are looking up, Drew and Olivia. I'll toss it back to you.
Thanks, Kerry. Sadly, one of America's favorite rappers has passed away.
Kaylee Heffler has more on this week's entertainment news update. Kaylee?
First up this week, news broke last Friday that 26-year-old rapper Mac Miller died of an apparent overdose. Following his death, Miller's 26 city tour, set to begin in early October, was canceled. In reaction to his death, fans immediately took to his ex, Ariana Grande's Instagram, and left harsh comments blaming her for his death. In response, Grande disabled comments on her account. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B battled it out on Saturday as they left Harper's Bazaar Icons Party during New York's Fashion Week. It was reported Minaj instigated the fight by making comments about Cardi B's parenting skills. Cardi B took to Instagram that night, hinting about the negative comments made by Minaj about her baby. Minaj broke the silence about the fight Monday, stating that she felt mortified and humiliated to be a part of the brawl. Miss New York Nia Franklin was crowned Miss America this past Sunday. Franklin beat out 50 other contestants in Miss America's first time, not including the swimsuit or evening gown round. Starting this year, women were not judged on their bodies or choice of evening wear, but instead on their passions and intellect and ambitions. This change has already begun to make women across the nation feel more empowered. In other news, former NFL player Colton Underwood was named the newest Bachelor. Underwood first appeared on Becca Kufrin's season and was sent home on week 8 of the show. Since being sent home, Underwood tried to find love again on Bachelor in Paradise, but unfortunately, his love life did not work out there either. Now that he's on The Bachelor, he hopes to find love and is grateful for this opportunity.
Thanks, Kaylee. Fall sports are back at Quinnipiac.
Q30's MJ Baird is here to give you a sports update regarding the beginning of fall sports here at Quinnipiac.
Drew, Olivia, thank you. That's right. Fall sports are off and running here on Quinnipiac's campus, and a lot of teams are finishing up their out-of-conference play, moving towards the games that really do truly count. And one team that needs its best effort, as it plays every single game, is Quinnipiac Women's Rugby. They have a target on their back every single time they take the pitch, and that's exactly what happened last time they were out too. In fact, the Bobcats' most recent challenge was an NIRA championship rematch, Quinnipiac hosting Dartmouth. Sophie Ragg breaks through the crack in the Bobcats' defense there. That's 7-0 Dartmouth after the conversion. Check out this run, though, from freshman Clara Lamal-Brown. She brings Quinnipiac to within 6. It's 28-22, but this one, the dagger, Ragg gets loose and splits the uprights for her second try of the game. Quinnipiac couldn't recover from there, 40-22, the final. Moving on now to Quinnipiac field hockey, hosting number 19 ranked Maine. Only 3 seniors on the Quinnipiac roster, and one of them is that goaltender you see right there. She gets beat early. That's Hannah Reicher. But we'll take you to the second half. 2-1 Black Bears at this point. Quinnipiac off the set play. It's Elisa Van Winkle who ties the game at 2. Then late in the half, it's Libby Reedy with some nice moves in front. A backhand finish for the score. 3-2, your final. On to women's soccer. They're hosting NJIT at home. Second half score tied 1-1. Selena Salas, check this one out. She's actually taken down in the box. For those of you who don't know what soccer is, I hope you aren't watching our show, but that's a penalty kick. And here she is at the line. She scores bottom left. That gives Quinnipiac the lead. Late in the game, Jess Cascio puts it in the box. Madison Borowick gets a nice foot on it, and a lucky bounce, too. That helps find the net. Her second goal of the game gives some insurance. Final score, Quinnipiac 1, Quinnipiac 3, NJIT 1. All 6 fall sports teams are in action this weekend. You can check out all our content on our website, q30tv.com. And it's not too early to think about winter sports. In fact, Quinnipiac women's ice hockey is just 10 days away. 10 days away, that's right. And the preseason polls today were released. We'll take a look at those. The coaches poll landed Quinnipiac in a tie for 5th place with St. Lawrence, and the 2-time defending national champion Clarkson Golden Knights received 11 of the 12 first-place votes. They are the favorite to win the conference again this year. And for the record, Quinnipiac, or the Women's Frozen Four, will be held right here at Quinnipiac this year. Drew, Olivia, that's all for sports. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks, MJ. Let's take a poll, Drew. You know the Q University in Hamden, Connecticut?
I think I do. I think that is Quinnipiac, Olivia.
Quinnipiac was featured 5th season premiere of Jeopardy on Monday night. Let's take a look.
Mississippi 2000, please.
Let's take a poll. Does at least one of you 3 know this Q University is in Hamden, Connecticut? Rick?
What is Quinnipiac?
Yes.
That's all the time we have on the Q30 Newscast this week. Follow us on all our social media at Q30 News to stay up to date on everything happening on and off campus.
For Olivia Schuler and everyone behind the scenes, I'm Drew Feinberg. We'll see you next time.